go live.
Let's go.
Oh, that's
Live
crazy.
indeed.
How long has it been, Joel, since me and you had a catch up? We used to do this every day, man. You forgot me.
Bro, it used to be a daily thing. Me and you going back and forth
Oh my
non-stop.
God. Okay, I think we're actually live, bro. I think
There
this
it
is gonna
is.
be one of those Zoom calls where we're just gonna roll back how how we used to, just do things back in the day. How it's crazy. Well, first of all, guys, welcome. Apologies for the delay. Joel is having a shit. But I don't know if we should censor this actually. Joel was having a poo. Stuck in the loo, but he's here right now. And as you can see from his sunny background, I've had to blur mine because obviously I'm in the UK and it's not that great over here. It's actually chucking it here right now. It's actually that loud I can hear the rain inside. But it's a pleasure having you on, bro. I'm really excited for this one because it's been a while, and I think both of us we both we've got similar backgrounds as well. Like it's crazy how similar backgrounds we have as well, and then how
Yeah, mine's beautiful. Yours is shit.
yeah. Oh shit. Oh my god. But
Oh, it
hey,
started already.
has it just gone live on yours now? I think yeah, it's been live for a while. So but yeah, it's a pleasure having you, bro. And it's crazy how to how when we look back, how where we were when we first started, and where we are right now. But then not only that, where we're headed as well. Because I'm not happy with where I'm at right now. I'm always growing, learning, and developing. And if you look, I tell people in December, bro, when I was writing my goals down, and I was like, maybe multiple six figures a month, and then I was like, it wasn't getting me excited. Like like even now, like once you earn, the money that we've earned, it's crazy. There's only so much you can do with it, but then it gives you more reason to do more, like more good. And I know that like you get involved in a lot of charity work as well, and I've just got millions of reasons now, bro, to make millions, and it's crazy, man. Oh my God, man. There's so much I want to share, but I want people to know about you, bro, because there's a lot of people that are probably hearing from you for the first time as well. But first of all, let's just welcome you here from the closest university, Joel from Spain. Take it away,
Hola, ¿cómo
bro.
estás,
First of
amigo?
all,
¿Todo bien?
todo bien, todo bien.
Todo bien.
Estoy aprendiendo español, ¿eh?
Ah, muy bien. We have to do this in English or en
English.
español?
No, no, no. English, English. We'll
No,
do it
no
in
speak
English.
English.
Oh God. But come on, bro. First, like, I'd love for you to maybe even, just give everyone like a good insight into who Joel is and what was Joel's story, and then we'll talk about how you got into the industry as well. Because sometimes, bro, people look at us and they're like, oh, but that's Jabran, that's Joel or whatever, but they don't know like the freaking dyslexic backgrounds we came from.
Bro, I remember we used to speak and we are like, bro, like I can't even read what this says. Like, can we just get someone to record the script and send it to us? Can't even read.
Oh my
That's
God.
hilarious. Yeah, good
It's
stuff. Listen, first of all, absolute honor being here, brother. Like we started the same time. We've got very similar backgrounds, very similar stories, and just seeing what you've achieved now and how many people you've inspired and you're changing lives. It's been amazing to watch. So I highly appreciate everything you've done for the industry. I really do. But
appreciate you, bro.
with that being said, a little bit about me. I'm not going to go too into depth. I'm sure there's going to be some questions after, but I was brought up in Spain. So I was a guy born in the UK, moved to Spain when I was 4. And I wasn't very good at school because first of all, I was an English guy, went straight into a Spanish school, never really had any extra help. I just struggled with learning to read and write for forever. And I had to learn things in a very different way. And it took me many, many years to realize how I needed to do that. Now, what I thought is I'm never going to be successful at school. I'm never going to be successful as someone who's going to go to university, get a degree, because I I kept labeling myself saying I had this dyslexia. And I'm sure a lot of people are listening to this thinking, yeah, I don't like labels, but I can't read and write properly. But that stopped me from doing the things that I want to do. If that is you, and if that's what you're thinking, it's bullshit. Right? I don't believe you. Right? What you need to think, okay, well, if I can't read and write properly, maybe I learn in different ways. So what can I do to learn things in a different way? So what I started to do, I started thinking, okay, well, I want to try and see how I can make money at a young age by selling things. What I started to do, I started really looking, watching people, how people communicate, how they interact, because not only was I dyslexic, sorry to use the label, I had a speech impediment. I used to stutter till I was about 15, 16. I'm like, I'm not going to get through life stuttering, not being able to read and write properly. So what happened was I actually started working on a beach club in Spain. And on this beach club, as I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of Nikki Beach and Ocean Club in Marbella, but it's where you got all the rich and famous. They all go there. And the only way to truly make money there is by communicating, is by figuring out
You're gonna
why
say male
people are at this
stripping.
beach club, how you can give them the best possible outcome or the best possible life or experience. And then not only you make tips, you make commission as well. So from the age of 16, I got into sales. I didn't realize I was in sales. I just thought, okay, well, I'm at this beach club. First of all, I have a stutter, so I need to figure out how I can get over this stutter. I can't read and write properly. And the more champagne I sell, the more money I make. So how can I do that? And long story short, there was a guy that really taught me how to communicate. He said, Joe, he said, stutter is fine. Like everyone has something. What you need to do, you need to learn to slow down. You need to learn to start using pauses when you speak and figure out these 5 different types of vocals, which was speed. The other one is volume, tone and melody, emotions, and pauses. So I started really practicing all these different types of vocals. And at the same time, while I'm practicing, I'm actually watching how the successful talk, walk, act, speak. So I'm learning from all these multimillionaires at the beach club. And not only am I doing that, I'm getting out of my comfort zone and I'm asking them questions. I'm trying to figure out why they're here, what kind of beach clubs they've been to in the past. And then as I'm going through life, I'm thinking, well, the more questions I ask, the more I figure out what kind of situation they've been in the past, what they're looking for. I can actually create this whole entertainment for them and give them an experience they've never had before. So all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. The more I ask questions when they get to the beach club, the more I figure out what they're doing, what they normally do. I can create this experience. And all of a sudden, I'm a problem finder and a problem solver. And once I got really good at that, I was making more money at the age of 17 than my parents. Right?
No way.
Only working 6 months a year. So I'm like, okay, well, money actually comes easy once you know how to communicate. But it took me a while to figure out how to learn to communicate, especially with my stutter. So from a very young age, I thought, this is great. I'm making stupid amounts of money here, but it's only for 5 months a year. What am I going to do for the rest of the year? And I thought, tell you what, let's work 6 months and travel 6 months. And then all of a sudden, I thought, while I'm traveling, what can I take away from what I've learned on these beach clubs? Understanding different cultures, why people act in a certain way. So I started going to all these different countries and experience, like really just truly like going to Thailand, to India, to places in South America, and everyone
You go
acted
Pakistan,
differently.
man. Why don't you go Pakistan?
Where's that? That is that a country or a
Listen,
city?
yeah, Pakistan. You need to go to Pakistan, all right?
Bro, I'm waiting for an invite.
Bro, it's crazy. I went back to my homeland after 13 years. It's crazy. I traveled all the world, but I hadn't gone back to my own homeland for 13 years, and it was 2021 when I went back, and I've been going back ever since. And I freaking love it, man. I love it. I hate the
Nice.
politics there, but I love it.
Yeah. But the reason why I'm telling you this, guys, is because I think it's so important to study people that already are successful. A lot of you guys are thinking, well, I want to become a good closer. I want to become a good communicator. Who are you following? What are you doing to actually learn from these people? What lessons are you, what are you putting into practice? You know, even like I even have this thing where I tell guys, listen, if you want to get really, really good at breaking ice with anyone, the next 30 days, I challenge you, go up to random people, one person a day, and give a random compliment. Right? Because all of a sudden you see how they start reacting. You see how you start feeling. And then all of a sudden you start going to networking events and you're breaking the ice by paying compliments. People like you because you know you're paying attention. And then you get into good rooms. So fast forwarding, I then worked in hospitality from the age of what 15 to till I was 30. Sorry, till I was 32. Hospitality my whole life, right? And I never really still understood the whole closing world or what sales was. It's just something that I did. COVID happened, right? At the time COVID happened, I had 7 vegan restaurants, I had a vegan meat factory, and lost everything. Hundreds of thousands of pounds in debt. Completely just wiped out. So at the age of 32, I had to move back in with mom and dad. And I'm thinking, wow, I was engaged. I had everything that I wanted, back in with mum and dad. What am I going to do? I'm hundreds of thousands of pounds in debt. I managed to clear as much debt as possible from selling off assets, and I was still left with £26,000, which is what, like $30,000 worth of debt. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And that's the time where I thought I need to find something online. I want to get back to traveling. I remember my happiness was going around, traveling, meeting people, you know, different countries, different cultures. So I thought,
Pakistan.
Where's that?
It's up.
So I thought, okay, well, let's see if I can find something online. And I heard about marketing, and anyway, I'm typing in like marketing agencies. What is this? And all of a sudden, I saw an ad, and it was this guy drinking a coconut in Bali, saying, "Hey, if you want to be like me and live location free, sipping a coconut in Bali, click this link." And I'm like, I want to be that guy. You know, that's me. Anyway,
Bali ad as well.
It was in Bali. Yeah, insane, right?
Who was it? Who was it? Was it me?
It was a guy called Ryan Wegner.
No. Oh yes, I remember him. I've seen a few of his ads.
Yeah. Back in the day, Ryan Wegner. So anyway, it was $500. And I was like, well, I'm in debt. I might as well just get into more debt. Yeah. And I hope Ryan's not watching this, but it wasn't very good. I spent I can't believe I just name dropped there. That's your fault. So you're getting things out of me. You're a good closer, you know?
Because I'm freaking inquisitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what I'm doing, guys.
Just curious. You just got to be curious. People just spill the beans if you ask the right questions, you know?
And see, bro, like, look, let's pause there for a minute. And I was just genuinely intrigued and interested. And like some people don't know how to be, and they're like, oh, they're so. It's like, imagine we were on a sales call and like we were just naturally just building rapport. And I tell my guys as well, be genuinely interested and just intrigued, and you get your answers, and then you could. But like in this moment in time, we got the wrong answer, so we'll keep moving.
No, but going back on what you said, I hear so many people in the sales world that it sounds like they're reading from a script. I think maybe the plus side me and you have from not being able to read is not reading off a script. I think that's what it is. But once you understand what you're trying to get from the conversation, when you start having genuine conversations, that's when things change. And I think that kind of goes back to the 5 vocals that I learned. You have a great tonality, you've got great volume, great speed, You know when to slow down. You know when to look interested, leaning forward, or like body language. I think body language is a big thing as well. So going back to the story, yeah, I opened a marketing agency and I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very good
I didn't even know this, that you had a marketing agency.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I opened something called Dentista Amigos. It was a marketing agency for dental clinics in Spain. And I really enjoyed speaking to potential clients, but I wasn't very good at closing. I'm like, why aren't they closing? I'm talking about the product, I'm talking about the benefits. It's a no-brainer. Like, why are they not buying? So I thought, I'm I'm not making any money here. Let me try and see if I can start selling for someone else. This is even before I knew what closing was. So I jumped on. It was a dating program. It was a 5K dating program, and they gave 15%. So they gave 15% commission on self-generated, 10% on inbound. And I made my first sale on the second call. I'm like, oh my god, just made like $500. Like, what's going on? And then for the next 8 calls, I made 0 sales. I'm like, I thought I was good at this, and I just can't close. At the time, the manager on the account was like, you got potential to be a really good closer. Who's your mentor? I said, closer? Mentor? What's that? He said, you don't have a mentor? I said, no. What's a closer? And then I was really confused. And then I don't know back then if like Google was listening to me, but I just started seeing some ads. Hey man, like if you don't, if you want to improve your communication skills, if you want to start selling, click this link. So I clicked the link and I spoke to a closer who now has his own program. He changed the way that I view sales. He changed the way that I think. He changed the way that I make decisions. And he went
I
through
think
his whole.
everyone's probably waiting for who's this guy that changed Joel's life to begin with and changed the way you do sales. So let's big him up, bro. We've bigged the other one up, and and you didn't quite like that one.
It's a guy called Joel Elster.
Joel.
It was Bill Walsh. It was Bill Walsh.
Oh,
Right.
okay,
So
he's British as well, isn't he?
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, from Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the time, he was working for Jeremy Minor,
Mm.
and I jumped on a call with him. And anyway, long story short, he went through the whole process. This was the time when he was still reading from a script. Like I could see him in his eyes reading.
Because he only recently got started in sales, like in around COVID time himself, right?
Exactly, exactly. A few months before me.
Look at that! Wow.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Making hundreds of thousands a month.
So Bill Walsh closed you on Jeremy Miner's program.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh my god, I remember actually when you told me that you paid like stupid amounts of money, and like for me, I was like, what the flip? You spent that much?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
And I was laughing at you. I was like, because then you actually bought the upgrade as well or something. Actually, I'm gonna let you carry on talking. I remember.
So this is what happened. There's a massive plane driving by.
We can't hear it anyway. Don't worry, we can't hear it.
There you go. So this is what happened. It's really interesting. So my objection was, listen, Bill, I need to do this. I want to do it. I see the value. I just can't do it.
Money.
He said, after trying to figure out what was behind the smoke screen, I said, I told you I'm in debt. I don't have the money. I'm £26,000, which is $30,000 in debt. He said, yeah, it's not a problem. He said, listen, I get your situation. He said, but if you carry on doing what you're doing now, how long would it take you to get out of debt? I was like, probably about 12 months. He said, it's probably longer, but let's say 12 months. He said, if there's a way you can get out of debt faster, do you want to have that conversation?
Wow.
My reply was, no, you fucking idiot. And he said, no, but think about it. He said, if there was a way where you could get out of debt faster, are you willing to have that conversation? I went, yeah. Long story short, he guided me through where I could find money. I got money from my mum, my uncle, my grandma. I invested $10,000, right? So now I'm 36,000 pounds in debt,
Whoa, so getting Joel into more debt.
right? And it took me 3.5 months to get fully out of debt.
Wow, that guy changed your life, bro.
Now, why did that work? Two reasons. One, because that closer changed my perspective. He showed me something that I'd never even thought about. He changed the way that I think. He changed the way that I make decisions, right? Because he had a process. Step two, I became obsessed with change. I became obsessed with learning the steps. I mean, you remember, right? I was like fully like Jerry Minor, seventh level. Like when me and you were working together, I was obsessed with it.
Oh, and he made all Jeremy Miners in when we were working at Kevin Day. That was so crazy. And I used to refer to Joel as Jeremy Miner because that's all I was because I was listening to Jeremy Miner's podcast, and then I'll freaking come and listen to this guy, and I'm like freaking out. And then everybody else, oh my god, I the good times, bro. That's crazy. That was when you were fresh.
I was fresh, bro, fresh. But just because I was fully obsessed, right?
Hmm.
And I think at this point, it wouldn't have mattered if I invested into Jeremy Minor, Eli Wild, or Cold Gold, or whatever
No.
closer, whatever else was out there back then. If I invested into any of them, I still would have had the same success because I was obsessed with learning the process, right? Which is a good and bad thing. First of all, you can't be successful if you're not obsessed. If anyone's
Definitely
listening to
average.
this, they're like, yeah, I want to get into sales. I'm only putting in an hour a day. Give
No,
up.
no,
You know,
not enough.
it's not going to work. You can't make 10 grand a month just putting in an hour a day saying, oh yeah, I'm learning the basics. It's not going. Oh, I'm role playing. No, get obsessed, right?
Percent.
The other thing you need to realize, and this is kind of the next step of my life, is very much like Jabran. I got to a point where I was making more money than I've ever made in my life, and I was like, "What is this?" I mean, there's more ones and zeros adding to the bank account. I remember the day I got my biggest paycheck. I'm laying in bed. I've opened my phone. I've opened the app, and I've looked at my balance, and I'm like, I'm the unhappiest I've been since I've started closing.
Oh,
Why? My account is sky high. What is this? And I've gone downstairs and I've spoken to my mom, and I'm like, Mum, I'm all I'm doing, I'm rolling out of bed, I'm jumping on sales calls, I'm doing my mentorship, I'm learning about sales, I'm socializing and role playing with people in my industry, and I'm just not happy. She said, why don't you go and just see some of your friends? I said, I have friends. I've got friends online. She went, oh, online. Really? And then something clicked. I'm like, fuck, that's the problem.
people
All
not
I've been
like me.
doing is just been working to make money. I've been obsessed with this process, and 2 years have gone by, and I'm still living at mum and dad's making all this money, and nothing's changed. So the next day, I booked a flight and I went and I left. I left straight away. Went to Dubai. So that was the beginning of my nomadic closer journey. I don't know if I should mention the ins and outs, or if you have any
Men-
questions on.
No, mention it, bro. Like I'm loving it, and I want you to go into like detail as well, with some of them as well, like some of the gaps that we missed and whatever, and because I think both of us we got our breakthrough at probably Kevin David's, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go from there. Let's go from there, and then we'll go on to like getting more purpose behind what we're doing and feeling more fulfilled. And oh, actually, we're on the topic right now. So when you moved out to Dubai, what happened and what like how did things change, or did things change, or what did you experience, and what was going on? And because I know that you started doing a lot of charity work out there as well, which I was really inspired by as well, and it really made me happy seeing you do that as well.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Dubai for 5 months and then I went to Bali. The reason why I wanted to go to Dubai is one of my mentors, he makes more money than in his face-to-face inner circle than his actual business. And I'm like, well, how can I do that? I've never been very confident talking to people face to face. I did before COVID. Now COVID's happened, and for the last 2 years, I've just been talking to people over Zoom. It's going to be weird talking to people and building up a relationship. So then I got obsessed with learning how to network, face to face networking. I completely stopped networking online and I started working on how I can improve my communication skills face to face. And I asked my mentor, and I was like, how can I do this? He said, Joe, he said, you've been closing for a good couple of years now, right? Yeah. He said, well, what do you do as a closer? Try and talk to people, figure out if they've got any problems, and, try and figure out a solution. Yeah. So what's the difference between doing that on a call compared to doing that in a networking meeting? I'm like, I don't know. He said, well, go do it. So I started going to all these networking events. I started putting myself out there, trying to break the ice, figuring out what people's problems are. Am I the one to solve them? And then what I eventually became, I became a master connector. And I started making more money by connecting people than my own actual business. So I thought, this is interesting. I'm creating this massive Rolodex, right? Rolodex, spreadsheet, CRM system, whatever you want to call it. And every time I meet someone, I'm like, okay, what's their name, their WhatsApp, or their telephone number? What do they do? Industry, how they can help other people, and what help they need or looking for. So all of a sudden, every time I'm out and about and I'm going networking, I'm meeting people, I'm going home, I'm typing in their details, and I'm like, okay, this person needs help. Go through my Rolodex. Oh my God, this person can actually help this person. Let me do an intro. And every time that started to happen, I was doing it completely for free at the beginning. And then the more I got to understand the system, I could then start profiting. But if they done any business, I'd get an intro fee.
Messi, I'm still doing it for free, man.
We need a chat, bro. We need a chat.
It's the Jabran charity, Jabran Foundation. But I don't know, man. With me, it's because I love helping people and like love making a difference. But then obviously you've got your own business side of things and all of that and everything. It's been a transitional period for me, as in like, because bro, I've helped people make multiple seven figures through my connections, through conversations. It's been nuts. But like very few of them have given me any kickback. So I'm like, all right, no worries, God will give me. And I haven't asked for it anyway, or whatever. And and then you can see how much.
But I just want to stop you there for a second.
Stop me, bro. Batter me as well, because I'm freaking.
I think it's a good attitude to have, right? It's a great attitude. Give until they ask. Right? I'm fully on board with that. But when you just said I'm just waiting for God to tell me or to help me, God is. God is giving you the ability to know these people and connect these people. God is giving you that opportunity. So don't just wait. God, it's there. It's in front. I think we always sometimes look at things. The
Foundation is closed now. You know, they're making the connections and everything. That's closed now. Now it's like because I've got orphanages to build now. Anyway, I'm building one. It's gonna cost me $500,000. But around it, bro, like within like 3 miles, there's like 9 orphanages. How can I leave them without that? So that right now, I'm all about making them. I'll make you business. I'll make you money. But you need to cut me in. It's as simple as now. So don't worry, I'm on it. I just need to remember my orphans more often.
That's the thing. But then the more business we make, the more money we make, the more we can give. And I think that was one of my biggest realizations in life is like money didn't make me happy. So then I started going traveling. I started living the true nomadic closer life. Started really enjoying life and finding balance. But there's still something missing. So I had my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health. Had my health on point, but there was still
Mm.
one thing missing, and I had a download. I had a vision that I'm just a vehicle. Right? Me, Joel, I'm just a vehicle. The more money Joel can make, I'm just the vehicle to be able to give it away. And I'm like,
Love that,
wow.
man.
Like once you believe in God, once you truly surrender, once you let God guide you, all of a sudden you tap into source. And like with me, just money just starts flowing. So now all this money starts flowing. I'm just the vehicle to be able to keep giving it away. So I'm now like, wow, the more money I make, the more money I can give, the more people I can help. You know, building schools, you know, like we're building schools in Africa at the moment. Building school in Bali this month. So Africa's in August, Bali, Dubai, Colombia. So in the last couple of months, we've already been to 5 different countries doing, you know, God's work.
Man, you know, one of my prayers, bro, like for years. You know how like you watch all these YouTubers and Instagrammers, like, you know, they go out and do all these random acts of kindness and they record it all and everything. And bro, the amount of times I used to just cry watching those videos and I used to just pray to God. It's like I this is for years. I used to pray to God, like, you know, use my money to go and help other people, use my money to go and help these people in the third world countries and people that are struggling and whatever. And it's crazy, man. Like, you know, even all the money that I've earned up until this day, I've not spent anything on myself. The most I've spent it on is probably my cologne and my freaking Nike Air Vapor Max trainers. That's about it. I've not bought anything. Like, even when I look at like all half the
Do you
design stuff I've
still
got,
spray your cologne on before calls?
100%. I did it just before now as well. 2 on 2. Oh my god, it takes me back to being 18 again. Carolina Herrera. Oh my god. If you guys haven't smelled that, you need to smell it. Oh, because oh my god, I used to wear it when I was 16 to 18, and it reminds me of being young. Like everything's mental for me. So like it just takes me back to all the younger years and whatever. You know how some people be like, oh, I wish I was 18 again. Like in my head, I'll be whatever age I want to be. But 100%, I sprayed it on just before I came here, bro. My wife doesn't
You
even
know,
question it now anymore.
since you told me that, I do the same because like for me, when I okay, this has been very vain here, but when I look good, when I feel good, things just flow.
Million
Like,
percent, bro. I keep telling
if I'm
everybody
not wearing
this.
clothes I'm comfortable in, if I've got very like scruffy beard or haven't combed my whatever it is or my hair, I don't have the same flow, the same confidence.
I remember, bro. You like I used to always come on. I remember, bro. I'd have a snapback. Remember, you'd have a go at me, and I'd have my basketball jerseys, the vest, or whatever. You'd be like, Jabran, what are you doing? Like, how can you do calls like that? And you'd come on with your nice suit. Well, obviously, you'd have your shirts like halfway down to your belly, the whole chest
Oh,
showing.
I still do, mate.
And oh my god, and I remember, and I had wore suits for like 8 years before COVID. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, and I was wearing to like because all the in-person networking events and everything, and that's all I was doing. I was a network marketer. I was a master networker as well, quite similar to you. So I was, and when COVID hit, I was like, screw this. I'm not wearing no more suits. I'm being as casual as possible. And then I was kind of like pushing myself and trying to see, okay, I'm not going to be as smart because look, your people, you dress the way you want to be addressed. If you're going to come up looking scruffy and just work with, I don't know, dressing like a hood rat, then people are not going to take you seriously. But I'd be like, when I'm wearing a t-shirt or a casual shirt, I feel comfortable. I feel relaxed. And I was like, I need to feel a bit because just before, I kid you not, I was actually wearing a denim shirt and it was a zip-up jacket. I put it on and I was like, no, I'm not feeling comfortable. I was like, screw this. And I was like, I was just looking for like a t-shirt and I was like, and you can't see it. It's like I just thought, you know what? Let me just put this on. I'll be more comfortable. I'll apologize for Joel later because I know you're massive on your shirts.
I'm massive on presentation, bro.
Mm.
Massive on presentation. The thing is, 90% of all closers aren't confident with their ability. So the first thing they're going to get judged on is the way that they look. I think if you're a closer that's coming up and you're not very comfortable with your confidence, with the way that you close, with the way that you hold yourself, you're going to be judged straight away,
Mm.
right? Unless you look half presentable, then you may have half a chance. So I think first it is appearance, because at the end of the day, this is my view on life. You are the business card of the company you're selling for. So like for me, for example, I'm doing multi-million-dollar deals at the moment. If I turn up wearing, you know, a cap or I've just rolled out bed in my pajamas.
That's not
Do you
happening.
think someone that's going to invest $3 million or half a
No
million,
way.
or they're not going to invest in me. They're not going to take me serious.
Unless they know of you solid and like you got a track record and everything, and they can see it. Maybe, but even with a baseball cap or whatever, and I don't think so. That's and I'm with you on that. Like, especially if you're going for multi-million-dollar deals, even if they do know you, it's just out of respect.
Yeah, unless you're Mark Zuckerberg,
Yeah, and they already know you, or Elon
and
Musk or whatever.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It just yeah. That's the
These
first thing.
multi-million-dollar deals. The hairs on my neck stood up when you said multi-million-dollar deals. We definitely need to catch up.
So we just
Like,
so we just closed the $2.7 million deal.
it's the mergers and acquisition stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. You're learning. So, look, you guys are learning what people pay for. And this is what most people don't realize as well. Like these calls that we have, mate, we've paid thousands to learn this stuff. And we're giving it away. We should be charging for this. Because some of the things we could, and it's something that I was saying to my younger brother, bro. He's only 22, and I made him struggle. Like, because I was telling him to come into high ticket closing for years. And then at one point I showed him like one of my paychecks. And he was like, what? What the hell are you doing? I was like, I've been telling you, high ticket closing. He weren't listening. And the moment I showed him a paycheck, this guy quits both of his jobs and he's like, I'm learning this. And I was like, what? And at that time, I wasn't even training or anything. I was like, bro, there's Jeremy Miner's YouTube channel. There's Dan Locke and there's Jordan Belfort. Go study these guys and then come back to me. He comes back to me, he's like, I'm ready. And I was like, at the time, I was chatting to Matt Napri. He had a drop shipping course. It was on like £2,700 course. I was like, you know what, you might as well go there. And with that, they was having that payment plan. So he wasn't making much money, but he worked there for about a year, and he was making like 2, 3, 4, maybe $5,000 a month. And bro, he struggled for a whole year. He was like, when am I going to get a breakthrough? And I was like, no, you stay there. Stay there. And like Imran Farouk was training him as well, because he was the sales manager there. I got him there as well. And I was like, you're going to learn a lot over here. And this is what I rate him for. Like my younger brother, Daniel, he's very coachable, and he struggled there. Like, not struggled in the sense that to close, the guy was closing like 7 deals in a day at times, but like he wasn't making like, the thousands of dollars per deal. He was making like £50, £100, £200.
Yeah.
The moment I took him off there, bro, and I bought him on another offer, I swear to you, within the first month, I think he made like £7,000. The second month, bro, he made north of £30,000 in a month as a high ticket closer, as a 22-year-old. Because you know what I said to myself? I was like, you know what? Now I'm going to mentor and coach him properly. Because like, surely, because I've got 2 brothers. One brother, he's totally different. Like he likes doing his own stuff and whatever. But like this one, I was like, if I can't duplicate myself onto him, and like, if you watch his sales calls, he sounds just like me. And like his energy and like the way he graphs as well, as in like, you know me, bro, I was the one that would easily do 12, 14. I don't care, whatever.
Bro, do you know what? Every time I'm on a podcast, right, I always mention your name, because I say to people, I can't physically do more than 5 calls a day. Like, that's my limit. If I do more than 5 calls a day, I'm not closing the rest. I know that I can put in 110% effort in doing 5 calls a day, and that's me, right? But then you have people like Jabran who does 12 hours a day and he just smashes it. And like, not everyone is built that way. I think it's very important to understand that everyone has limitations. So like, for me, I know I'm very good at taking calls between certain times, having a break, and then take some more calls. I can't do calls straight. Like, I just can't do it. But then what I do, but everyone's different. So it's understanding, do those 12 hours and then try and figure out your peak times. when you can perform the best.
I got it
But
from
then that's why
EMEA.
you need data. I think a lot of people I speak to, a lot of closers that are in our academy as well, they're like, I don't know I don't know when I sell the most. I'm like, use the data form. Once you start tracking your data, you know how many deals you're closing, the show rate, the objections, the times that you're closing.
Like we learned this at Kevin Davis. I think it was Amir and Joey that went over this, and it really hit me as in like, and I was like, what's this talking about? As in like, oh, there's American leads, there's Australian leads, there's UK leads, but more money comes from America. And like, Amir only used to do like 4 or 5 hours, a day, and he was making like 20, 30 racks just like that. And he was like living a retired life. And I was like, okay, hang on a minute. This is me breaking my back for like 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. I'm doing all the shifts and all the hours and all the people and whatever. This guy's doing like 4 or 5 hours. I was like, right, I'm going to do these hours, but I'm going to make sure I'm going to do Amir's hours as well. And that was late for me in the UK. But it's crazy because he had looked at the data. He had looked at, okay, the type of people. And then like I learned a lot from pre-call preparation and pre-framing from Amir as well, as in like, what he would do, he'd have his own little assistant VA.
Let's touch on pre-calls for a second and pre-information, because the market's changed. If you are not sending pre-educational information to your prospects, it's much harder to close them.
1,000,000%.
Much harder. Once someone's pre-educated and they get onto the call and they've done their homework, they've gone through the testimonials, they've gone through the homework that you've taught them or you've told them to look at, then it's a much easier conversation.
Bro, and we nailed this. We nailed this at KD's. Like, we nailed it. That's where, like, we really, like, I really believe, because what did we send? What was that message? It was the testimonials, FAQs, and then there was a PDF document or something like that.
But there was even on like the videos, even in the FAQs, there was like a drop down with the FAQs and a video replying to those FAQs as well. It was so into detail.
Bro, he was a master marketer. I don't care what anyone says. He was on, and he worked for Facebook as well, didn't he?
He went what?
Kevin worked for Facebook.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
back in the day. Yeah,
legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember him saying to me, Jabran, I'm paying you more than I'm paying my CEO. I was like, come on.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. It's a very smart dude.
Bro, it changed so many of our lives, bro.
So many.
Time many.
And like the nice thing about him as well is like he was actually there, present on meetings, getting involved, showing his face, gave us his phone number if we had any questions. Like, it's very rare to see business owners getting that involved these days, But also what I find a lot as well, because again, we run a done for you sales agency besides the other things that we do. The biggest thing that we see is business owners try to run their own sales teams. And that's when shit goes wrong. Business owners are meant to be working on the business. They're meant to be growing the business. They're meant to be scaling the business. But as soon as they get involved with trying to help salespeople and teach them sales, that's when shit goes wrong. So and like you've seen this, you've seen this. We've had conversations about this.
So many times.
Like once you've taken over accounts, once we've taken over accounts, we've seen the sales just go through the roof because the right management's in place.
They'll bring you in and they'll know. Like, look, imagine a business owner has paid you to come in and like provide a solution, and like you've negotiated everything, but then they still want to like run the sales team. I'm like, no, that's not your forte. Because if that was, and this is what they don't understand. If you had figured it out, you wouldn't need me.
Yeah.
If you had figured it out, you would have had the results. So be humble enough to just step aside. I'm not going to run your business. I'm just going to run your sales. Let me come in, train, recruit, develop, and bring in the sales. And I swear to God, bro, a lot of these business owners, bro, and I'm talking the guys that were milking it, and right now they're down to zero. They want to do shit their own way, and they're struggling. After a long time, bro, I've met one business owner that I'm kind of partnered up with now with his business. We do done for you a done-for-you marketing opportunity for them as well. The client see results within 30 days. But bro, he's not once. He's come on sales calls to meet the sales team, etc. and whatever. And I like that. The sales team to meet that.
Involved.
But bro, zero involvement. He just lets me run everything. And bro, I swear to God, within 60 days, brand new sales team. He was doing all the sales himself. He gave it all to me. Within 60 days, bro, we hit 1 million. Within 60 days. Average ticket size, 5K and 10K.
Crazy. That's crazy.
It's nuts, man.
But that's the thing. Like, I think like anyone listening to this, if you are working on, you know, if you have an offer, if you are working on an account where they don't have a sales manager and you've just got the business owner trying to run a one-man show, like reach out to people like Jabran, you know, because he has the experience.
Reach out to you, bro. I want to focus on what, like, I'm very adamant. I want to take this one project that I'm working on to 10 million a month. I'll look at other stuff, but this one. But you're the man, bro. Done for you, sales,
we only look after businesses that already doing 200K a month, a minimum of 200K a month, and we help them 10x. And that's what we do, and it's only investment opportunities that we focus on, because we've tried everything else in the past, and the ones that have been the most successful, the ones that are still around, are the ones that are investment opportunities.
Like, that's where the money equity.
Exactly.
You guys are learning so much. I swear to God, you guys better watch this on repeat. These guys have no idea the things that we're sharing with these guys right now that they probably would never have even known. Like the insights.
We got so much that we can talk about. I got so much that I want to mention, but I'm not, because there's a step by step to this, right? There's levels. There's levels.
100%.
But this game is easy once you know how. It's easy. Everyone complicates things. Like just to give an example, if you start reaching out to your network, you can find jobs, you can find opportunities, right? But please, please, please don't reach out to someone. Okay, so besides our done for you sales, we also besides the M&A that we have, besides all the other investments, besides all that, we also have a recruitment company, right? Placement agency. Please, please, please don't reach out to a recruitment agency like mine or anyone else's and say, hey, I've seen you in recruitment. Can you help me get a job? I'm a closer. My reply, and I'm sorry to say, you can bleep this out, will be fuck off. Leave me alone. So going back to my original thing that I said right at the beginning, give me a compliment. I'm not just talking about me as an example. If you're reaching out to someone,
I like the way you have your buttons on your shirt.
It's like, reach out, Jabran, I just saw something on your YouTube channel that I really, really liked. It was this, and this, and I implemented it. It really worked. Thank you very much. Wait for Jabran to reply. Oh man, thank you so much for that compliment. It really means a lot. Yeah, man. Like, then Jabran's like, what do you do? Oh, I'm in closing. You start a conversation. If you go straight away and say, hey, I'm a setter, can you get me a job? We get 30 to 50 of those messages on a daily basis.
Especially to recruiters, man. What the hell? Like, it's just silly. It's just silly. And even in school, we were taught this in English literature. Make sure you point, evidence, explanation. Make sure you key on the paper. Like, what the hell? Right now, you're just like, oh, yeah, give me a job. Where's your point? Where's your evidence? How are you explaining yourself? Like, there's so many of these things that most people don't do. But I'm telling everyone right now, like, bro, the amount of people that I've placed on opportunities that, bro, they've gone to other coaching programs and they have paid for other coaching programs, and then they've come to me, not paid me a penny. They've come to my free community and everything, and they're like, Jabran, we're ready, and all this and all that, and I've done all that. I'm like, okay, cool. Bro, I've prioritized them from my VIPs because they're like, we've been burnt out by this coaching program. We've been burnt out by that coaching program. They promised us this. They promised us that. I'm like, okay, cool. You think you're ready? All right, here's an opportunity. And bro, they're like, poo comes out. They can't even do anything. They start stuttering. There's no frame. There's absolutely nothing. And bro, if I never had a good relationship with the influencer, not only did they mess it up from themselves, they could have messed it up for me. and other future people that I'm going to place there. Like I'm telling everyone openly right now, if I haven't coached you, trained you, or if I haven't worked with you or managed you, I'm not placing you. There's no point. Like I'd rather you go to go. Like if you, especially for me, I'm not a recruiter. Even though, bro, you know I can place anyone anywhere. With our connections, but you know, with some people, they really need to realize that, you know, what value are you bringing to the table? What value are you bringing to the workplace? And lead with value, not just like. And some people think they're ready, and they need reality checks. They need reality checks. That's what people need to do. And some people, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent on this, but it's like, oh, I just need a job. I just need a job. I just need an opportunity and I'll crush it. But then when you have it, there's nothing. And that's when I say to them, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared for it. Like if you want to land a role right now as a high ticket closer, how many days are you, or how many hours in the day are you actually role playing? It's like this, me preparing for a boxing fight. I'm going to at least be sparring at least 3 times a week. At least. How many times are you role playing a week with other closers? Maybe one of the days, a closer from another company is going to come out and you have a great role play with him. Bam, he's going to refer you to his company or a company. But you know, a lot of these, and that's why I tell people right now, if you're in the closest university, you want to be publicly role playing. Like tell people, yeah, look, we're role playing today. Let people know on social media you're role playing. Let people know who you are. When people click on your profile, they should be able to see who you are. And look,
well, talking about clicking on people's profile, how many times have people reached out to you and they're trying to ask you for a job and they got their profile picture is a picture of their cat, and I'm like, yeah, you haven't even put the effort into to have a real photo of yourself, and you're trying to reach out to someone with a picture of a cat. I mean, your Facebook profile is your business card. Someone that's going to recruit you, look at your Facebook profile, look at your Instagram and think, what does this person get up to? Is this the kind of person I want to be representing my brand?
Most people think it's just simple. Let me reach out and then hopefully I'll land the role. So like, what are the
just one thing I want to mention as well about being a recruiter as well is the majority of the jobs that we get people aren't the people that reach out to us. It's people that are constantly posting their wins, people that are constantly building a personal brand and get headhunted by us. Those are the people that land in jobs.
Right? You, bro, someone over here watching this are going to be thinking, but Joel, I don't have no experience in the high ticket space, but I have so many. There's 2 points I want to make. So there's going to be that person, oh, Joe, but I don't have no experience or whatever or whatnot. Or how can I post my wins if I'm not in a role? What kind of wins? I've mentioned a bit of it anyway, but what would you say to that person? What you should be sharing on social media or like your socials or whatever to get that attention?
I think it's really important that if you do want a landed role, the majority of the people out there, they want to know that you can close. I have my own offers. I have my own sales agency. I have my own sales academy. I pay for my own ads. So as a business owner paying for his own ads, I don't want a closer on that account that doesn't know how to sell. So the most important thing is, what are you doing to put yourself in a situation where you're learning the ins and outs of selling? Now, I'm talking about myself because I was in debt and I went into even more debt so I could learn the right skills and I could start selling. So I actually invested into an academy, into a mentorship, into a training program where I was role playing with people inside of that mentorship. And they're the ones that helped me and guided me to get my first job. So it was within my own community. So if someone is scared to invest and they want to land a job first, I'm personally against that. Now, again, everyone has different views, but if someone isn't willing to put enough effort in and expects that the business owner is going to invest their own money into someone that can't close, I would never hire someone that has no experience.
You know, the example I sometimes use with people when they're like, oh, bro, like I only have a 9 to 5 and I can't do, like right now, my mentorship, bro, it's going to soon be 15 grand. Like, I can't be asked messing around with people. And I'm only going to train high ticket closers to really come in and, break that 20K a month barrier. But right now it's 7,800. And there's some people that say, oh, like, is there any leeway on this? Or is it this? Or is it that? I'm like, bro, if I gave you a Lamborghini, I don't know, Urus or whatever they call the Hurricane. My mate's just bought no, not I don't know what it is. It's £475,000. He paid for a Lamborghini. I don't even know about cars. So you've got a £500,000 car over here right now. And I'm like, here you go, bro. Here's the keys. Here's the keys. It's £500,000. But all you need to pay me is 15 grand. And you're going to get a £500,000 car. And they're like, oh, well, but bro, but you've got 2 hours to get me that 15 grand. 15 grand, the car's yours, logbook and everything. Then they're like, oh, bro, I'd go anywhere and I'd go to my mom and get that money. So what you're telling me is you're valuing this car more than the value that you're putting on this mentorship and coaching for your future. Because this is an investment into you. The car's just to look good. So, and this is where, like, I swear our priorities, our mindsets are so messed up that we don't really, like, investing in mentorship and coaching and actually utilizing it as well. Bro, I swear to God. And when I started my mentoring, I did it really cheap because I wanted to help people in the third world country. So I ran a huge promotion, bro. I was charging like pennies, but I wanted to help people. And when they paid attention. And
when they pay attention. Like
100%.
we've had so many free training programs where people have come in for a couple of weeks and then gone. When we've charged for the same thing, $5,000, $7,500, people have turned up, put the effort in, and have stayed and have got results. So I think sometimes if you don't pay for things, if you don't actually put your hands in your pockets, pull money out and pay for something, you're not going to be obsessed. You need to have some kind of buy-in.
You know what's crazy, bro? And then there's some people, I swear to God, there's some people that within my community and everywhere and whatever, I'm like, you guys have access to me. And I'm not saying I'm like the God's gift or whatever, but I know I've figured out high ticket closing. And I'll give anyone a run for their money in high ticket closing. And I don't even need to be in competition with anyone. I'm my own competition. And I know how to interact and understand and negotiate and all sorts, even with business owners. But I'm like, are you even utilizing me at your disposal right now? Or the fact that they've got you or anyone? And I'm like, why are you not utilizing the resources that you have? But then again, it really comes down to, like, some people, they just can't, they have sight, but they have no vision. And they can't see it.
So this is something that I think sets both you and I want to try and say this in the most ethical way possible. We don't just teach sales. I don't think sales is the ability that's going to help you make your millions. It's a stepping stone. And we've both had this conversation where, yes, we can teach you the ability, we can teach you how to communicate and how to sell, but that is not all the ability you need. It's about the mindset. It's about how you come across. It's about wanting to truly help the person on the other side of the phone. Because a lot of people, they're just so obsessed with trying to sell. I remember we've had this conversation many times where you was like, listen, no matter if this guy buys or doesn't buy, I've seen a change in him on the call. And whether he buys from me now or later, he will either buy from me or he'll refer me to someone. I'll know that, first of all, his life is now changed, even if he hasn't given me any money. And I know that it's going to come back to me. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is where they just focus on the sale rather than focusing on helping that individual. And that comes down to charity. And the other thing I want to mention about charity, and I mention it quite a lot as well, is I say to the guys in our academy, guys, you truly want to help people on the call? Yeah. Is that why you're truly a closer? Because you want to truly help people? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah. So what are you doing about charity work? How often are you going out and physically being there, volunteering, donating, building houses, giving out food, giving out rice? what are you doing? Well, I've never done it before. How can you truly have an open heart and love what you do and love helping people if you've never done it in the past? So go out there and like we did this with the Nomadic Closer House. We took all the guys that flew over to Colombia, spent a month with us, trained by us, right? Personal development,
Nuts.
like the most amazing experiences. But we also, one of the hardest experiences was we took them for a day's worth of charity work in an area where you've got the homeless, that all turn to drugs. There's, I think there was like 8,000 of them on the streets. 8,000 of them. 20% of them were born on the streets. And then we're there giving out food, giving out rice. We had, first aid, helping some guys just being macheted. Long story short, but the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the guys that went, they're like, "Wow, my head hurts. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I want to go home." But then at the beginning of the day, I said to the guys, "Listen, there's two things you need to remember. One thing is it's an honor for us that they're allowing us to serve them, right? We're in service to them, not the other way around. So then we don't expect a thank you. We say thank you to them every time we're handing out food. The other thing as well is no matter how much your head hurts, how hungry you are, how much you want to go, put yourself aside for a second. You're not here because of you. You're here for them. No matter what you're feeling, get that little voice in your head telling you that you're hungry, your head hurts, aside, and truly be present, truly be in service. You're doing God's work. So once they learn that, first of all, they could put their ego aside and focus on the other person and truly be in service and helping someone with no expectations in return, that was a huge lesson for them. So now where they are on sales calls, they're a bit more congruent by truly being present and wanting to help people.
I think that's so key, man. Thank you for sharing that as well, because so many people that they'll kind of like, because I've met a lot of these salespeople as well. They're like, yeah, I help them. Oh no, would you do it for free? And I swear to God, there used to be some people that would come on sales calls and they had no money. And I was like, you know what? God's obviously brought them in front of me for some reason. Maybe I'm just going to use this 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes is the sales call. Okay, I'll give them 10 minutes. The other 10 minutes I'll use to follow up with others. But the fact that they're on the call with me right now, let me just bless them with some of my inspiration, motivation, knowledge, whatever. Let me just try to help them. And I swear to God, I remember like when I was, on the Kevin David offer, I used to say to people, look, even if we don't decide to work together or whatever, and I used to spend time with Justin to get all the insights of Amazon or whatever. And I used to sell them with education and give them insights into how to launch an Amazon business. I'd say to them, look, even if we don't decide to work together for whatever reason, the 20 minutes that we're going to be sharing over here today, I'm going to make sure you're at least 10 steps ahead of the average person starting off an Amazon business. Because I had taken my time to go through the course, learn from Justin, learn from the coaches, learn from Kevin to give them value. And as I'm giving them value, genuinely trying to help them, they saw that from me. And then they're like, oh my God, this is something that I want to do. And it was the same thing that I did with, and I constantly do, is try to lead with value. And look, on that note, bro, I know, bro, we can be here for hours and we haven't even touched anything yet.
Just wanna say one last thing, because I think everyone listening, especially all the guys that are in your academy, your university, is one of the biggest key things that everyone should take away from Jabran is he has a system that works, and he does it through having conversations. It's not a script. Even if it's a script, even if it's a framework, it sounds like a conversation. Never turn a script or framework into a bullet point robot. It's understand the process and turn it into a genuine conversation. The more curious you are, the more information you'll get, the more you'll be able to help someone. So if you're obsessed with being curious, even if it's an avatar you've already spoken to, even if it's someone you know that they're going to give you a certain answer, every time you get on a call, you start from zero, which means be curious and have conversations.
Appreciate that, man. It's one of the setter managers. He kept telling me that I'm working with on the offer. He was like, Jabran, you haven't created a script for the closers. I'm like, they don't need a script. They don't need. They know the offer. They know what they need to do. That they know. They know I want them to connect with the. And he was like, you need to create a script. I'm like, no, I'll probably create a framework and what I want them to cover. And maybe I'll review some of their calls and go through all of that. I don't know. Maybe some people need scripts and whatever, but like, okay, I'm not against using scripts or frameworks or whatever, but don't forget to be human. Like it's a human being in front of you. With them.
Some people don't know how to be human. That's the biggest issue. I think that's why some people may need the scripts and framework, is because some people don't know how. So it's like, if you can have human conversations and you know how to help someone, that's one thing. But there's many who don't. There's many who don't know how to have conversations. They want to be closers. And sometimes they need the extra guidance.
It's crazy, bro. But look, bro, as I said, man, we could be here for ages, and I think we will do one more at some point or whatever, and we'll go through a lot high ticket closing, masterclass, whatever you want to call it. But I really do believe a lot of people have got value here today, and I really appreciate you taking your time out, even though you were late because you were on the loop. But that's a topic for another day. But no, I really appreciate you being here, bro. And as always, and look, guys, if you guys are looking, for, well, look, Joel's already told you all the things that he does, and what he does, and what he expects from you guys as well. Get involved. How can they find you? Where can they find what you do and everything, Joel?
So there's two ways. One, we have a group where we do a lot of job posts. That's on Facebook. That is the Nomadic Closer community. Or the other one is Instagram, and it's at Joel Elster.
Joel Elster. His name's on the screen anyway, guys. So
and I've also got because I've also do everything I do. I also do it in Spanish as well. So I've got a Spanish Instagram account called Soy Joel Elster. It's not soy as in soybean. It's soy as in I am. Soy Joel Elster.
Spanish. There's a few Spanish people that I've got, and like they're very good as well. I'm going to connect you. And she actually knows plenty of languages anyway. But look, she's someone that got my attention, has always been giving value, always sharing, like, servant leader. And look, I'm giving her a shout out live on this YouTube over here, and I'm going to connect her with you as well for anything Spanish related or whatever. And there you go, guys. Look, she's been providing value, and now I'm providing value to her to connect her with the main man, Joel.
Yeah. Guys, yeah, if you speak Spanish, we're currently selling 46 hotels. So get in touch.
Wow. Awesome, bro. Thank you so much, bro. And I'll see you on the next one. I'll probably even see you around. Take care, bro. God bless.
See you soon, bro. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.